sauce.
Ain't nobody got sauce.
Sauceless behavior.
Also, new tool has been added. I want to see if everyone has functionality with it. I do believe everyone is on this scene now. Yo.
I'm not even in the game yet. What
Like
little
right,
guy
right
where?
click or left click?
Left click. Just like open it as you would if you were to double click on your token
Oh, okay. Oh,
That is sick.
fancy.
You can see everybody's scores, their current health.
And then there's also an inventory tab. That works like a player's inventory, which means all the functionality issues I was having with the old people's loot is solved by that.
Yeah.
This is just a core Pathfinder Foundry feature that is just hidden behind esoteric fucking rituals, and
It's just always been there.
it's always been there. It's just like, so it's a type of actor called a party actor, but that's not a thing you can make it just from the actor tab. I was installing a module that allows you to like quickly add assets more efficiently, and one of the things in when you're placing an actor, one of them was party token. I'm like, wait, the fuck? That's not an option. What the fuck is this? So I decided to mess around with it. It's like, wow, this is everything I wish that I had like fucking months ago. So, and someone press one of the WASD keys to see if they can move with it. Yep, there you go. It does do the WASD. So, it also works as a party move token.
Heck yeah.
Watch it secretly have some ability to like spawn the tokens all at once. But
Damn. Ralph's fortitude is 7.
Listen.
What about Ralph?
Nothing. I don't want to talk about it.
I think you should talk about it though.
No.
He's a fragile boy.
Also, go ahead and everyone give yourself a full HP and 1 hero quest. I think the only person that's missing a hero point is Raisami.
I am loading in still.
Same.
Skitters doesn't have a hero point.
The Spider doesn't get a hero quest.
I'm here to show you my PowerPoint presentation about how this city is terrible.
Damn, okay.
Damn. Tando really just was like, and I pull up.
Drace, a known hater of Absalom.
Damn, how could it be?
I'm sorry, maybe it's just the residual undead in me.
You gotta get the spooky juice out.
Yeah, just stop being undead. Have you thought about that?
Let's just see. Alright, speaking of being undead, how do you nerds wish to go about your fun times? Y'all gonna stick together, or you gonna split the party?
I don't know.
We can probably stick together and get it all knocked out. I don't think it makes much of a difference either way. It's not like we're on much of a time crunch.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down for either, honestly.
Probably best to figure out where everyone wants to go first,
Yeah.
then decide from there. everyone's town plans.
First things first, though, we should probably go and speak with whoever the note that we were given gives favor for.
Right.
So go to a guard, have him point us in a direction, talk to that person, have him point us in multiple directions, and then go from there.
So, is that your first plan of attack? Is to navigate your way to the House of Healing? Is the location that was mentioned, described, if you were. The dog, being familiar with the street layouts of Absalom, actually would be able to find the party's way to the street address listed.
We don't even have to ask for directions or anything. Hell yeah.
Nice.
Half of being a investigator in this town is not getting lost when on patrol.
Yeah, that tracks.
So, being able to navigate is
Mm-hmm.
quite critically important. So, I'll say this is probably the next day from when we left off. You rented a room. Now here's the real question. Did y'all rent like basic lodging, or did you blow some money on high-end?
Basic renting,
Let's
most
go
likely,
fancy.
because we are strapped
it.
for cash.
I mean, we
We've
did
got some
just
money.
get some money from, but we still have to buy like some supplies and stuff.
By fancy, how fancy are we talking?
Can we maybe go like middle of the road?
So,
Like, not fancy, but not super basic.
sure, let me quickly.
Away, my back's gonna break.
So, basic lodging in the Ivy District is 1 silver piece per day per person. But an extravagant suite would be 150 silver pieces per day for 6 people.
That is perfectly doable.
So is that y'all gonna be high rollers, just be like, yeah, we adventurers, we got
Let's fucking
money.
Yeah, I
fuck
mean,
it.
if everyone else isn't, I'm definitely being fancy as fuck. I can afford it.
We can be here for like 2 weeks and it barely even be a gold. Well, probably like 2 gold, but still.
150 silver is 15 gold.
Oh.
So it's
That's what I
15
was-
gold a
okay.
night for the 6 of you, versus
That's
1
still
silver
manageable.
piece per night. So the rough price difference here is somewhere in the ballpark of 30 times as much for an extravagant suite.
Let's do it.
Y'all are doing it.
Yeah.
All right. So you, I'm just gonna quickly check which location do you likely stay at? Damn, I lost it. I do believe it's probably this no, the Golden Serpent is not where you stayed. Shit. I lost the name of the location, but you do walk into one of the fine establishments next to a onyx black bistro next door, and you walk up to the counter and put coin upon the table and say, "We'll take your finest room." The attendant, dressed in fine violet clothes, looks at you all and is like, "Are you sure?" And then I'm assuming Kite in his very much seems to be raring to go for expensive room, drops a small pouch of coins on the table, on the counter. They look through it
The
and are
pouch
like,
that's about the size of him.
"Very well." And they guide you up to a fancy penthouse suite at the top floor of this 3-story hotel complex. It's not tall, it's not a modern hotel, but it has indoor plumbing, all marble, an all marble
Wow.
bathroom, a tub that can sit 6 people with champagne already out and waiting. The sheets are the finest 30,000 thread count velvet you've ever felt. With silk sheets if it's too hot.
I don't know about you guys, but first things first, I'm gonna take a bath.
For
Man,
you-
a fancy room, and we didn't even have to kill anything to get into it.
For you, Kai, the bath is like a warm, Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Nice.
You can do laps should you wish. And that is going to be your base of operation, I'm assuming. Your nice third floor suite. You can actually see over a decent amount of the district from where you are. You are, I believe, here, I think, in town. The House of Healing, you can spot, with its tall spires and reflective roof, is down at the southeast quarter of the district for the coming morning.
Just in case you didn't know, I think you're signed in as stream.
I have 2. I have myself and I have stream.
I was saying because I think your cursor that you're moving around is stream.
Yeah. It's hard to remember which one is the thing. Hold on, let me see if I can.
I was making sure you knew that.
Hold on, what's the thing to hide stream's cursor?
Oh, is it just like you have essentially pulled it? Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I can also hide my own cursor. But
Quick question.
Hmm?
Whenever we were about to leave Atari, we had 156 gold coins on us at that time. Didn't we get given another 200 on top of that? Or no? Am I misremembering?
I know you got coin. Let me check something. Act orbs. Does anyone just have an unreasonably large amount of just coin on them?
No.
Me.
No.
No.
I thought you were down to like 56 and he gave you 100. I could be wrong.
I don't think we ever got that low, did we?
I have no
Don't
idea.
remember.
You did in a single purchase buy like almost 300 gold worth of scrolls.
That is fair, but we also had a shit ton of gold at the time.
You had like 400-ish. I don't think you've ever been above like 500. For now, I will add an additional 100, then I will go back and check for the previous session.
We can figure out how rich or poor we are later.
Cisa
come
would
out
know
wash.
how much money you have.
Cisa is just our bookkeeper now.
Yeah. Even though they're at work.
Yeah.
All right. In the wee hours of the morning, the sun just breaking over the horizon, you're actually your sleep is partially interrupted by the early morning sun reflecting off the reflective domes at the top of the House of Healing. and actually makes the waking up process quite easy. It's very much like someone threw open the blinds of a in the morning. You're getting light from both the sun and the reflection of the sun coming in, denoting your first port of call for your current field trip.
I go around and play the Samsung alarm sound for everyone.
Oh god.
All
Are
right.
there any rich people eating breakfast?
Your breakfast has actually already been delivered while all of you were asleep to the ensuite dining room.
Man, this place is too fancy.
I like it.
Poached quail eggs, fine, light risottos, almost anything you could ask for, cured meats of the finest quality, and, unsurprisingly, more wine. Right. If you make your way out, Warg, I'm assuming you are just wrapped like a peasant.
Yeah, just sticking with them.
This is fair. You make your way down the streets
think
of.
For going around town and stuff, I'll have Tito dismissed currently, and I'll just be riding on top of Warg.
Mm-mm-mm. Riding on top of Warg. Alright. You make your way through the streets of the Ivy District. The stylistic representation of the buildings shift as you go from the classic elven architecture with the high curbs and the multi-colored marbled sidewalks, shifts to a more sandstone Osirian design with colorful murals and depictions of the sun and fish up across most buildings. And then you eventually come to a very large, wide cathedral topped with the previously mentioned reflective domes and large artistic murals, much more grand and ostentatious than those surrounding. But you're going to notice a couple of them on this building seem to have a distinct difference in that some of them appear to have been vandalized with paint or stains of some description that seem to have possibly appeared in the night. As you can see, a white adorned robed individual up on a ladder, scrubbing away at them with a cloth and a bucket. But other than that, it seems to be a quite lively courtyard with a woman gathering together a group of children in front of a board, seemingly to begin the morning teachings of the orphans and poor children in the area. And then you will see two relatively tall-looking men adorned in shining silver armor, wrapping white scarves around their heads before turning and leaving out the gates and waving to a couple of the similarly white adorned Serenite priests that are attending to the gardens around the entrance to what you can only presume is the House of Healing.
Mm-hmm.
I know our initial plan was for all of us to go together, but it just occurred to me that I don't know if it would be the best idea to bring an undead person into a temple.
That is completely fair. I didn't even think about that. Do you just want to set aside Ward?
Yeah,
Wait for us.
I can do that.
I gotta
Just
do
in
that.
case, you know? They might have some kind of danger sense or something. Undead? Where?
Yeah, just to err on the side of caution there.
Someone did make a disguise last session. If you would like to make a new disguise for the current session,
That is true.
or have said that you did do that,
Yeah. I mean, does Warg want to go in or stay out?
Can
I
we use our
mean-
last session's one? Because we never actually got to use that disguise. And I think I had rolled a 27 on that.
you
one.
weren't here. I had said that made it so that you didn't have to answer any questions when going through the gates. Like, they would have let you guys go through with the dog, but
Mhm.
your disguise was good enough to where none of the guards were tipped off to start asking questions by it.
Gotcha, okay. That checks out.
So, but as it is a different day, you would have to do the 10 minutes or so of setting up your disguise. Also, Ward, what is your deception deception DC?
Not good.
Very good. Glad to hear it. So if anyone wanted to make a disguise, you can go ahead and make a chirk.
I'm definitely not the person to make a disguise.
That'd be what, a crafting check?
Yeah, that would be so normally it would be a deception check to impersonate, but it's not you guys that are doing it. Well, it's
Right.
not Warg doing it to himself, right? So I would say it's a crafting check to cobble together a disguise on someone else, right? So
Gotcha, then I'm out. I can't do it.
I believe your two highest crafting checks are the high intelligence character and the high proficiency character, which is Kite and the dog.
Do you think a 21 would be enough to maintain the previous disguise?
Who knows? Dog, were you going to attempt a check, or would you just like to aid?
Just aid.
Sure, give me a crafting check.
Oh yeah, we're using the. I'm not used to having to actually open my character sheet.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible, isn't it?
Crazy.
And what's your bonus? A 26, and then... Alright, so if you're aiding, that's going to turn Kite's 21 into a 22. Alright. We'll see how that, we shall see how well that does.
Can we possibly make that the reverse? Or since it's already set in stone now, we can't.
You had already, kind of taken the initiative on that
Right.
one.
That he said.
So 22. Good. Good. All right. All right. Well, you are at the gates of the House of Healing. What do you do?
I mean, if we're all good to go, I guess we'll go in, right?
I am somewhat curious about the graffiti, but we can just
We
go
can
in.
check it out. Did you want to like ask about it or just like take a gander?
While walking by the dude in the ladder, I will mention up to him. So, what seems to be this? It wasn't here last night when we were about.
Hmm.
There seem to be some vandals afoot.
Well. Oh, it's just the usual. Seeing as the symbols of coins and scales, I would assume this is probably the the Brotherhood of Abadar. Ugh.
The Brotherhood of Abadar. Now, I am quite new to this area. Who are they?
It's just the money guild in this area. You see, several different, both legal and illegal, groups. I'm assuming you're not from here. In the Ivy District have quite conflicting interests, and their conflicts seem to spill out into the streets. And since we heal all of them equally, we have not made the best of friends with some who live in the area. And so this happens from time to time.
Does this seem to be the worst of it? Just graffiti, or do they cause even more trouble for you guys?
Occasionally, some will attempt to break out conflict on the church grounds, but they don't usually get very far. The knights tend to deal with it.
Well,
Quite.
I am terribly sorry to hear about that. You guys seem to be doing good work out here.
We do what we can.
And then we will just continue walking.
I'm assuming you enter into the front doors of the House of Healing.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see it's very similar to the inside of the Dawnflower Library. Sans the library part. Very much similar Kadiran and Osirian architecture, with stained glass windows predominantly of reds and yellows depicting fire and the sun, as well as a large depiction of Sarenrae on the farthest window, and you will see quite a collection of different parishioners and attendees, and a couple of mingled about. You can pick out very clear tourists that are simply looking about. But in this space, you can also see a couple of individuals preparing large pots, and seeming to load them onto a cart. And on the other side, you're going to see a curtained off section where every once in a while you can hear a yelp of pain, a hiss of like a sharp inhale, or just a moan coming from behind the curtains.
Fun.
Quite a smattering of different things happening, but there's not an active sermon happening at this hour. It seems as though that may have already happened. You are a little late for that. From your penthouse suite, while the light woke you up, you would have noticed that while all the windows are closed, there is almost a mystical silence in your suite, as though the room is enchanted to prevent the sound from outside getting in, which would explain why you didn't wake up when almost everyone else in town wakes up, which is when the larger Church to Sarenrae in town blares its morning. I forget what it's called. There's horns that are blown, which is when the town comes to life. But none of you would have heard it due to your expensive suite.
Nice. I need that installed in my house
see.
IRL.
It's like, man, I wish I had that spell in real life. So, do you approach... there's obviously a couple of begowned individuals similar in dress to those you saw tending the gardens outside. Do you approach any of the clerics, priests? Do you just want to go to the main altar and try to pray away your dog curse?
I'm sure that would work.
Let's
Never
go
know.
for the person who looks like the biggest head honcho.
In
I was gonna
physical
say we just
in
find somebody who can
physical
do business,
stature, in physical stature, or the one who is dressed most most exorbitantly.
Let's go with that.
Well, intermingling amongst the people, you're going to see a human priest that stands out, seeming to have carrying slightly more adornments than the rest. And as you would go, before you go to approach him, you will see step out from behind the altar as though they seem to be dusting and cleaning at it. You will see a very short individual dressed in similar gown to the rest of the priests, but has an additional band of beads wrapped around the top of their headdress, and also when you turn to see the front of them, they are covered in quite a large amount of symbolic jewelry that would likely denote them as being the high priestess of this church. So who do you go to?
Let's walk up to them.
Yeah.
If they don't seem to be too busy.
All right. Hold on, I'm just...
Hello, sir. Do you have a moment?
One sec. Sir?
My apologies. High priestess. Priest.
You can call me Zerakella. It's my name. What can I do for you?
We have arrived from Atari not too long ago. We've been here just overnight. We have a letter, if you would take a second to read it. I guess we'll just go ahead and hand that over.
Yeah.
Quite an odd-looking letter carrier. Let me see. She's going to
I
open...
get that a lot.
She's going to open the letter and skim through it. Vandy... Huh. Oh. Well, I can see you are definitely in need of our services.
Yes.
You can say that again.
She's going to look across the room for a second. How about you come with me? And she's going to guide you off to a side room to the right of where the main altar would be. You know how in churches they got those alcoves out back by the stage.
Mhm.
She takes you off into a room that leads into a corridor that takes you back and out of the main church hall and back into what seems to be the dormitory for those that live on the campus of the church, and then it leads you out the far end of that room and then into a courtyard, and then she leads you even further into another building that seems to be a much more cozy, if you would, church. Like a small, it has a shrine and a couple, like 3 or 4 pews, and it seems to be just a much smaller, possibly 20-foot by 30-foot sized space that you find yourselves in. And is-
never seen a church complex quite this large before.
Oh, oh, Sonny. You're not from around here then.
No, no.
We're actually quite small around these
I am
parts.
from very far to the south.
Oh, really? How far south? You'll see that she's not really looking at she's looking through some boxes, and she opens up. She then finds like a box with some incense and and a censer and a couple other things.
What's the forest place called again? For some reason, Magambia is just what I want to say.
Yeah, that's just Magambi is just
I'm
your
aware, I'm aware.
singular name for Central Garand.
What's the forest called again?
Tando, do you remember?
What?
Good. It's the Wongi Expanse.
Wongi Expanse, that's the one.
Oh, I
That's
stopped
what it
paying
was.
attention. I knew that. I didn't know what forest you're talking about specifically.
My people reside to the south in one of the easternmost corners of the Wongi Expanse.
She's gonna pause for a second, think to herself. Is that demon country?
I wouldn't go so far as demon country, but there could be some foul people afoot around there. We tend to stay to ourselves, but
Yeah, I've never taken a pilgrimage down that far south into Garand. Farther south I've been is the southern tip of Osirian, by the mountain range, and the far eastern reaches of Kadira, to see some older Serenite churches. Now, which one of you is well, cursed?
That would be me.
Yeah,
Come
they're
here.
a werewolf.
Let me get a good look at you. She's going to stand on one of the pews and beckon you over so she can get a good look at you. You come over, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
She's going to grab your right arm and, in a brisk motion, pull your sleeve all the way up, like, to the middle of your upper arm, and then she's going to look at the underside of your forearm where, as a doctor, you would know where people's veins would be visible, but she doesn't seem to be looking for veins. She's looking for any discoloration or changes in your fur. She flips your arm over to the other side. She mutters what would be a prayer / incantation, and you're going to see her eyes are going to change color. She's going to keep inspecting your arm, and then she's going to let go of your arm and then grab you by the face and start looking on either side. Oh yeah. This one's taken a bit of a deep root, but we still have time. Good thing you got here when you did. Tell me, when did this happen, exactly?
It would have been, what, almost a month ago, right?
I think it was that long ago. I thought it was like more like 2 weeks or something like that.
I don't know.
It's been about
it's
2.5
been-
to 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
It's been a while.
we've been
Yeah,
a
I've
little
only
bit
been
busy.
here for like 3 weeks.
The party's only been here for like a month and a half. I don't know what you're talking about. The dog's only been gone for like one not even a whole report card period. And what kind of curse is it exactly?
Lycanthropy.
You're gonna see that she's gonna pause for a second. And you see her eyebrows raise briefly, just like a, oh jeez. And then go back to what she was doing. You know, lycanthropy doesn't like to let go of people. So, we'll see what we can do here. Alright. I'm gonna need you to hop up on that altar over there. She's gonna
Okay.
let go of you. Now, we got 2 ways of doing this. We got the hard way. She's gonna pull out a bundle of some greens that none of you on site can identify. And it's dangerous, but it's the traditional way of doing these things. We can save that as a backup. Or we can do it the easy way. But it's not necessarily guaranteed.
Hmm. Let's start with the easy way first and go from there.
All right. I'm going to need you to lie back. She's going to then take out a vial of holy water and start dabbing it in a couple of shapes and specific dots on the side of your cheek and several different places. And then if anyone is close to paying attention, you'll see that she roughly depicts the shape of a humanoid figure, mostly a cross, and then some lines for wings out the back of it. And then, all right, she's going to light a censer and start walking around the room, filling the space with a light mist of smoke. And you're going to hear she's going to be muttering a prayer of some kind. She's going to when she makes a full circuit of the room, it comes back to the altar. Lady of the sky, great mother Dawnflower, see this wayward soul to be relinquished from the chains that bind their spirit. Release them from the forces that wish to bring them down a dark path before the beast can take root. And then you're going to see a pinprick of light appear on her finger. And she's going to bring it to your forehead. And then your vision is going to turn white for a second. And then black shadows in your vision are going to... This is not everyone else's perspective. For everyone else's perspective, they just saw the light just disappear onto the dog's face. From the dog, your perspective, the flash of light that fills your vision is going to, from the edges, start creeping in with a black smoke. And you're going to see 2 red pinpricks in it. And a voice is going to say to you, "Why do you forfeit my gift?"
I never asked for your gift. I don't need it.
All canid forms seek to hunt. Do you truly wish to return to the banality of a servant to man?
Yes, I do.
Just like...
I'm a cutie. We were made to be. Shut the fuck up.
like, fuck you, cursed demon.
I know what I'm about.
Also, I forgot, this is where you guys are on the map. My apologies. I'm going to need, I'm actually going to roll for her counteract check, actually.
Oh boy.
Give me a second to quickly do this. I believe it's that. She's currently level, what, 10? Yeah, she's level 10. So 5. So a d20 plus... Just trying to quickly remember what the bonus she should have at this point. I don't have a stat block for this character. I just know she's a level 10 priest to Saren, right? So 10 plus expert plus 5. So okay, glad we're back to this. Good thing that this is man, I really wish I had run a combat encounter this session or planned one. Cool. Dog, from your vision, the light, your vision was pure white before the spectral figure appeared in your vision. And then you're going to see the edges of it start to disintegrate away, and the voice going to say, "If I find you again, I will be stronger than you can imagine. Don't think you can get rid of me this easily twice." And then it's going to, in a quick flash, your vision is white, and almost in a blinding flash of light from the center of it, it is going to be obliterated in your vision. As she crit succeeded on the counteract check, and it's fucking... The essence doesn't leave you in a black wisp. It is destroyed in a holy fire within your mind. And you can feel a weight leave your shoulders, and you can feel your teeth, which you hadn't noticed at this point. Your teeth over the length of a month had turned from the rounded canines of a dog to the sharp fangs of a wolf, and had actually extended half a centimeter longer. Not to the point where they were affecting your speech, but you can feel them as they recede back. And you can feel your hair get less coarse on your back in these moments, as you can feel how close you really were to succumbing. You were about 6 days from a full moon, at which point the curse would have taken root. And the clerics would be like, "Well, that worked out pretty well. It's been a while since I did that." She's gonna crack her neck. Ugh. You know, when you work in a church in the city, you don't get to really practice any of the fun divine magic very often. It's just healing magic all the time for some reason. Well, that should sort you out. If it seems to come back, make haste back here, because I may need to reach out to some distinctly more powerful allies. If something like that returns, it is beyond what my estimations were of it. But from what I can tell, you are very much cured. For now.
Thank you.
Well, that was fast.
Well, the curse was, while a quite virulent curse inherently, does not match up to the magics that you have available in the big city. Were you out, back near your homeland, Fairy? I don't think that would have been so easily dealt with. Now,
I'm sure.
I have duties to attend to. As none of you are members of the church, I would ask that you leave this sanctified room relatively quickly.
I don't think
Was Warg sitting on a pew with his feet up on the next pew, like a Philistine?
No,
Oh, damn.
he was probably. I thought he was standing outside.
Oh yeah, you're right. He's across the street.
Yeah.
Your friends are now several hundred feet away in the back of a choich.
That's
I'm
right.
gonna do some
I'm sure.
crimes.
I'm sure Skitters was there with them because I don't imagine I took him in with us.
Yeah.
Let's go and make sure that Warg doesn't get up to anything too bad.
Yeah, definitely.
I do want to note throughout this whole thing, and I'm sure there's nothing crazy here. I'm sure it's just gonna be general emotion stuff. But I've been just kind of as I walk around, kind of following the group. I don't say anything, but I do just kind of brush my hand against everything as much as that is like reasonable, and do my read psychometric resonance.
Sure. As you do from different places that you walk around in this room, the very strong emotions you feel are several different times. You're going to feel waves of relief. You're going to have almost like a remembering of a memory that never existed, like deja vu of the feeling of a close loved one or family member being healed of some grievous injury, or having a curse lifted similar to this, or a terrible disease purged from their body. But other times you're going to have the feeling of loss, as though your last ditch efforts were in vain. And the feeling of regret that you couldn't save some people. This room seems to very much serve the purpose of secluded rituals for performing powerful divine magics. And
Okay.
specifically, would you like to give me a religion check? God, that dice just went off screen for me. uh,
That's a
nine.
19. That. Ouch.
You can tell that
Really
this,
bad.
from that, you can tell this place is sanctified in a way, but you can't really figure out what that means in terms of what that does to this space. But it's just a really fancy room where they seem to do most of their powerful rituals. So,
Gotcha.
you know.
So, Ralph, you used to be a medical practitioner, correct?
Yep, that's right.
How does that work with having a church nearby that could heal in this way?
Oh,
This
well, I
seemed
mean,
like an in and out situation. With you not having magics and all. You
Well, I
definitely
mean-
healed us a ton, but
my clinic wasn't anywhere near here. It was in the docks, but just provide another option for people who can't or won't use magic for their healing for any of that. And I just wanted to help people.
Well, Zarakella actually is going to be walking with you out. She's going to say, "Oh, you're a doctor. You know, if you ever wanted to pay us back, if you're in town, you could offer your services to aid with healing. We don't ask for coin, but just that you give back to those around you when you receive our services." So,
Well, I'd be happy to help.
and in regards to why people don't always seek out divine healing, divine means of healing, while beautiful and grand, there is only so much we can do in an amount of time. So even we predominantly use non-magical forms of healing. if one is wholly dependent on the gods, then it means that you do not have the drive to use your own hands to heal others.
I guess that kind of thing can breed complacency.
Yeah, but what I was getting at is that they they're clerics, they only have a limited amount of spell slots.
Right.
And most of them are like level 2. So they have like a couple of first level heals. Most of the clerics here are not 10th level like she is. So, in terms of divine healing, they have it. They just don't have enough. If every person in town that got hurt went to a cleric, this town has a lot of clerics. Not enough for that. Not enough for 300,000 people. Or close to 1 million. It's some really ridiculous number. It's like 800,000, I think.
Makes sense.
So, by the way, a thing of note, there are a lot of churches in this town. A lot. So, this just happens to be the second largest to Sarenrae. Warg, what are you doing outside? What have you gotten yourself into? Are you even still there?
Did you get kidnapped again?
Are there any sewer gutters nearby?
There are, actually.
Don't be
Uh,
crawling in the sewer.
Okay, he's
with your fucking
probably
disguise.
trying to climb in one of them.
God damn it.
So he's going to start to lift the grate to one of the the manholes into the sewers. Is that as the party is returning, you start that process, or have you already been at this?
I've already been at that.
Okay, well, Warg is gone. What do the rest of you guys do? Party.
Do we go out there and just not see him?
I mean, if he went into the grate, did you like move it to the
Oh, no,
side
I-
or?
I feel like he probably would have gotten, like, because of how large he is, he probably got stuck halfway.
Oh no, you can if you wanted to go down, you could go. There's several large access points that you could have easily have found just by strolling.
Reluana, you did make sure to have Skitters watch Warg, didn't you?
I mean, I left him out there with him, but I didn't give him a specific order.
Reluana, did Skitters go with Warg?
No, he just probably would have just like stood there, like,
just watch
what
it
are you
happen.
doing? Yeah, it's like it's as curious of a look a spider can get. Just like, what? Why?
Great.
Skitters isn't gonna wander off without me, so yeah, he probably just be
Morgan-
like, "What are
Morgan.
you doing?" and then just wait for us.
Civil utilities workman Warg, what are you up to? In the sewers.
Just in the sewers.
Alright, you get attacked by rats. Do you defend yourself or do you just start hanging out with the rats?
I punt the rats.
Cool. So several there's going to be some like sanitation workers at like the outflow of the sewers. It's gonna be like, why the fuck is it turning red all of a sudden? Shit.
You didn't just punt them, you fucking pasted them. Holy shit.
As what would be a deflated deflated balloon of a rat body floats past. Like rats can't like hurt you. That's what I'm getting at here. So like if it's a creature that would attack you that like is way below your level, you just would kill it. You know what I'm saying? So
Rat king.
So do you just do you start exploring or what's your plan
Yeah.
here, my guy? All right, cool. We'll come back to you. Rest of the party. What as I pull up the Undercity fucking tab on the PDF. Good.
You're welcome.
Worm's
Where
gonna
the
become
fuck
the
did he
king of the
go?
Undercity.
We were gone for literally 5 minutes. How?
You were gone
could
for
we
like
lose
half an
more?
hour. You were gone for like half an hour. There was the ministrations of the ritual took a little bit of time.
I got bored. What can I say?
I'm pretty sure remove curse is 10 minutes at the least. So
Skitters, what happened? Where did he go? It's like spider points to the just the grate.
spider points to a sewer grate. Yes, exactly.
His one leg out, just kind of points at it. It's like, okay.
He just shrugs. Man, he gone. You didn't tell me to
Look
stop
down
him.
there,
I just watched him.
Did anything happen that caused him to go in the sewer? Or did he just go down?
Just another shrug. He was like, I don't know, man.
Okay, maybe in the future we don't leave Warg outside.
Very good, very good. All right,
I
well,
didn't know we needed a babysitter for a grown-ass man.
Yeah, neither did I. Just create
So,
one problem for another.
so, God, I wish I need to have a thing. I need to have it so that I need to have a dynamic version of the party token, right? Where I can just switch, but yeah, I can just switch like just like the wild card tokens for Kiva and Rillawana.
Yeah.
I just need to have like a whole bunch of different permutations with different combinations of characters on it. So I
Oh
can
my
just
God.
so I can just do the party minus Warg and minus the skeleton. Oh man, Jesus.
So many different tokens for one group.
Exactly. I just need 36 different tokens.
Yeah,
and
because
we're
then you'd
good.
also have to have the variations of the different ones for
Yeah,
Rysana and
yeah.
Milana.
Exactly. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna go that far. Chill out.
Simply acquire a party babysitter.
I would just need 64 different permutations if we were to have them be my God. Actually, isn't it like wouldn't it be like 8 to the power of whatever the fuck?
That's
I'm
what
not
we
sh-
really need to hire a mercenary for, not to adventure for us, just to watch us.
Just to babysit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is the early morning. Did anyone want to like recall knowledge on any of the things they've seen around or anything else? I'll take that as a no.
I'm gonna say no.
Cool.
So, Dog, would you happen to know anything about the Brotherhood of Abadar? The individual over here had mentioned it previously.
Right. Well, maybe now I'll do a recall knowledge check.
Sure, give me a knowledge check.
Rolled a 4.
Mm-hmm. Good. Well, your best estimation is the Brotherhood of Abadar is probably some sect of the Church of Abadar that's all into the gambling.
Yo, gambling?
Gamba, let's go.
Maybe, that's just a guess. The dog has.
It's not my part of the city.
Fair.
But you would know, no recall check needed, that Abadar is the god of money and is a neutral god. So, you would also know that Abadar is one of the more primordial gods. I do believe, if I remember correctly, Abadar was one of the gods that helped seal Rovagug.
Rovagug, my favorite boy.
Everyone's favorite guy. He's such a dude. What a guy. So,
Who doesn't like a little destruction here and there, you know?
You know, just a little.
alright, so, I will quickly list through, a couple of locations in, the Ivy District for, to potentially give you guys an idea of where you might want to go to search. So we have the district locations include Alicia's, which is a restaurant, the Abadar Ward, which is a neighborhood. No, the Arbor Ward, which is a neighborhood. There is the Bloom Cabaret, which is a restaurant and an archive. You have the Crystal Creations, which is a merchant. You have the Embry's Armory, which is also a merchant. You have the Flower Street Market, which it's a market. There's a lot of different things there. Dog, you would know the Flower Street Market it's not like just food. It actually includes like tailors, craftsmen, pretty much people that either don't own a shop or have their shop is far away from where the market is, and a lot of people come to the market for quite a wide variety of different things. The Golden Serpent, which is another restaurant, the Gutless Griffin, a tavern, which actually I'm pretty sure the Gutless Griffin is where you're staying. Then there's the House of Healing. Already know about that. There's the Ivy District Park, which is a park. There's the Ivy Playhouse, which is a playhouse. There's the Ravenel Consulate, which I don't think anyone cares about Ravenel here. The Shrine of Shaylin, a Starspire Manor, which I don't think you have any contacts with the owner of the manor, so can't care about them. Sundown Street, which is a merchant district.
A lot of places.
Yeah, there's the Tempest, which is a venue, and then the Thistleguard Station, which is where the guards are. A Vault of Abadar, which is a bank, and there's a lot of places here, by the way. The Wandering Monster, which is another venue. This place has several places that are just presentation venues, right? White Grotto, which is actually a hard to describe. There's a lot of leshies there. You would know that. And that's the most of the locations. There's a couple of minor locations also. They're like embassies and a couple other things like that in this district. Anything in particular pique the party's interest?
That was a lot of things.
There's a lot of things. There is a lot of things.
Many a thing.
You have to realize there's that many things for every district in this fucking city, and there's 13 fucking districts. There are
So
280
wow.
locations in Absalom.
How about this? What locations does the party want to go to? And then, based on that, you can tell us which of those would be of interest to that goal.
What sort of stuff we want to do?
Yeah. I want to go to the Church of the Machine God, or whatever that is, to get information on Tito, as well as possibly get some information on the First World.
Sure, Doug, you're from in town. If you want, you can. If anyone wants to go to a place that they don't know what it would be, I'll let you make recall knowledge with society to see if you've heard of a place like that, since you've lived here for like 25 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Or more, like, because you lived here for your entire life, and then also you were an investigator for 10 years, so you've been here a while. The city's fucking huge, but you've been around. And being an investigator, you would have jobs that would take you to several different districts. So if you want to, if someone has a thing, you could recall Naleg, if you would like, on that.
I would like to try and find a blacksmith, but that is really all I have.
Where's the black?
Where's the
We
blacksmith?
do still need to. I mean, Warg's wandered off into the sewer, but I think his armor needed fixed up as well.
Yeah, Warg has a 19 armor class.
Okay, are we just gonna leave him in there?
Hell yelled down into the sewers. Hey, big guy? Are you down there?
Warg, are you down
Why
there?
are you down there?
How
Warg,
far
are
am
you Warg? Are you
I?
within
That's the
with
question.
Warg? Are you within
I would
earshot?
hope the echo would get
Did
to
you wander, or are you just sitting down there?
I was wandering, so
Oh,
No
no.
answer. Oh,
Let's roll on a dice to see how far you went.
Warg, while you're wandering, you actually find a couple of rudimentary spears, and
Spears?
what looks like the tracks of conflict. You wish to follow
Sewer
them.
spears, let's go.
maybe I'll start wandering back now and try and get the party's attention about that.
Ah, boring.
you're the one who decided to go into the sewer. Why don't you just split the party entirely? It'll be fine.
I ain't going in the sewer.
He
That's
has his
gross.
own solo adventure versus a bunch of fucking rats.
Becomes
No,
king of the rats.
no, doubtful.
Say it,
Just against rats is very doubtful.
War just comes back as like king of the Undercity, and we're just like, oh, okay.
So, Warg, do you wish to go on your? Would you wish to go on an adventure, or are you just coming back to the party?
I'm going to make note of it to the party. I'm gonna make it my way back, and yeah.
Hello? Big guy? Wog? Are you
I
there?
like to
Oh.
imagine we're like halfway walking to another place and he just pops out of a different sewer grate.
Oi. There's some spears down here, very rudimentary.
Sewer?
Sewer spears?
Yeah.
Dog, give me your recall knowledge. Using society.
These are supposed to be private rolls, right?
Yeah, for recall knowledge, it's that's
Yeah.
how that would be.
Oh, it didn't work. Oh wait, no, it did.
Cool. Dog, you would actually know the Undercity, the spaces, including the sewers, while the sewers do have the occasional guard patrol as they are maintained by public servants, there is occasionally incursions by rat folk, goblins, kobolds are down there. Generally, the city guard advises that the general populace just shouldn't explore down there too much, and that for the most part, any monsters or critters that are down there should stick to themselves, and if they do come to the surface, to just call for the nearest guard garrison to come aid you, and they will probably kick the ass of whatever creature comes up from the sewers. But you would know where where Warg was is just like scratching the very surface of the iceberg that is the Undercity. In fact, he had never actually reached the Undercity. He was just in the sewers.
We're getting kidnapped by rat people was actually a potential possibility.
Oh, Warg. So, did anyone ever here play Borderlands 3, the Guns, Love, and Tentacles DLC? Warg would have just been claptrap. Well, my plan was to cut back to Warg every, like, half an hour and just describe him being in the middle of a fist fight with some random creature, and then just ask Tando how he wanted to fucking kill it, as nothing he would have come into contact with would have been a threat to him, and he just, like, murders his way through an investigation. This is what it would have been.
Wow.
So, Tando decided to cuck himself out of a fun little adventure.
Oh no.
No, we're not
I'm
going
not
back
going
to
back.
that. You already decided to not be funny.
We can't
No,
leave you alone for a
no.
minute, can we?
Well, if you guys aren't gonna come along, I'm just gonna keep on
Shut the fuck up.
looking around.
Where's the party going? You had already committed to regrouping. I
For
don't
backup purposes.
I don't tell you my fucking plans.
See, here's the
You
other
wouldn't-
thing, Drayson. You just wandered away from us. We're not gonna let you do that again.
They
We're like,
put
we will
a
not leave you unattended.
they put a really big, like, you know those harnesses they put on babies? It's just really fucking big. And they put it on Ward. If someone asks, you just say he's my seeing eye orc.
One of those backpacks with a rope attached to it.
Yeah.
Broken promises.
Man.
Maybe
Hilarious.
Maybe we go to like a blacksmith first and knock out like the stuff we gotta
Very
like buy in the
funny.
city, and then go from there.
Found that.
Sure. So
Now that we've got Ward.
So you have several options for that. In terms of you could go to a specific location. So there's the I had mentioned before, if I can fucking find it. There is a dedicated armory shop, and there is also you would know that there are blacksmiths and armorers of varying kinds at the Flower Street Market.
For
Can we
what
walk up
I
to the...
want to do
Go ahead.
specifically, I'd probably go to a dedicated armory, but in party you can choose from there. Party can choose.
You never know. So here's the thing: the Flower Street Market. It's not just like, oh, here's a pop-up stand of a blacksmithery. They're selling
okay.
things here. They have a shop probably
Yeah.
somewhere. So that's up to the party to decide. So Flower Street Market or looking for thing. Where is the fucking blacksmith? Gooey. Why is it so far down? That shit. Anyways, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which would you prefer? The Embery's Armory. There we go. Jesus.
Embery's Armory.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's go to that one.
Sure.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, funny thing about that, Embery's Armory is actually at the southeast periphery of the Flower Street Market in the Ivy District Park. I'm gonna try and find the exact location really quick. It is number 15. No, 126. Where's 126? There it is. Y'all are hither. The park mentioned before is this area, and the Flower Street Market actually stretches from where you are up to here. So it's the entire length of this street that is flanked by the park on your left and a couple of businesses on the right. And you find yourselves at a... Fuck, I lost the name. I'm so Terrabrew. There it is. So you find it is a large, open-walled, squat stone structure, and seems to be a operational workshop of Angleton Embry. You would know they are a well-renowned artisan in Absalom. And do you wish to enter?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go on in.
All right. You step into this into the business. There are two parts to the business. So there's an open workshop, right? That has a blacksmith working away. There's actually a couple of artisans there, and then there's a door to the left that leads into an interior, what seems to be a showroom with racks of fine weaponry. Some of them labeled with Absalom steel, and several different pieces of armor, some that seem to be demonstrations of fine hammer work and are just made of basic steel, while others are high-end pieces made with exotic-looking metals that most of you can't identify at first glance, that are inlaid with different gemstones. Many of these sets of armor seem to have a distinct aesthetic style from different regions across them. And behind the counter is a squat-looking dwarven woman. Aye, what can I get for ya? Welcome to Embry's Armory.
I haven't seen armor like this in a while. This place is quite extravagant.
Oh, if it's like what we got, you ain't never seen it. Never is quite a long time, you see. Now, what are you looking for?
We've got a few repairs to be made. Also, a small request.
Aye?
You see, we come from Otari, and recently our blacksmith seems to have vacated his duty, and the town seems to be lacking one at the moment. Now, if you happen to have some kind of apprentice, or anybody who is attempting to make their name, I'm sure having an entire town be under your purview would be a good place to start.
You saying you're looking for a new blacksmith?
Yes, ma'am.
By the way, what was the name of the blacksmith that was working in that logging town? I think we've had a couple of She pulls out some paperwork. Aye, we had some guild contracts to make blanks for swords, some formed ingots. Seems like most of these things are basic commission. A couple of strange pieces. So they're saying he's out of business now.
Sadly so. He seems to have left on personal reasons.
Well, finding a blacksmith of that quality shouldn't be too difficult. But, sorry to say we haven't got any, extra apprentices to spare. Two of the lads in the workshop right now are actually finishing up their apprenticeship. We plan to bring on the other. Both are guild certified. I'm sure the other will be looking to find work here in town. But you say you're looking for a blacksmith that can take on probably the jobs of a couple of adventurers and also the daily duties of a fishing town. Making axe heads, rigging. I'm sure you could find any old metal banger around town to take that kind of work on. But, I wouldn't be able to help you with that. Now, in terms of your equipment, let me see what you're working with.
Gestures toward and his terrible. This is half destroyed armor.
Am I the only one that actually has broken armor?
The
You're-
dog
you
as
look-
well.
Yeah, well, the dog's armor's
Because like
gone.
dogs was destroyed.
The
you're-
dogs-
you're-
the
yeah,
dogs
you're the only
is
one that's like
gone.
actually damaged.
Yeah, I straight up don't have armor right now.
Yeah. Did you
in
bring
a-
the armor with you, or were you wearing
Yes.
the clanky,
I think I
seized up
was-
armor?
Probably was wearing the broken armor.
She's gonna put on a pair of spectacles, walk up to it. She's going to pull out like a gemstone magnifying glass as well, and bring that up to one of her eyepieces. She's gonna look. She's gonna grab the piece of armor and lay it down on the counter and start looking over it.
Careful not to get too close. He has been rummaging around the sewer.
Oh, young lad, when you spend all day next to a hot furnace, the nose hairs get burned away, and the smell of ashen coal and soot fills your lungs. I wouldn't be able to smell it if I wanted to. Now let's see here. Quite strange markings you got. Did you fall into a pool of acid?
It just so happens that we may have fought something that really likes to disintegrate things.
Some sort of ooze? Did you piss off a wizard of some kind? Trying to steal from a lich?
You had it right in the
No,
first
but
one.
You could say we probably pissed off some sort of wizard.
She's going to pull the magnifying glass away, and she's gonna flip the armor over and start inspecting again.
Quite accurate.
It seems about right. Lots of creature marks here. Plenty of gashes. You don't oil this enough. I can see some
Well, we
corrosion.
Shades too.
Yeah, typical adventurers.
We tried covering it in ooze, but
Yeah, come on,
it's just-
come
now
on,
it's like
Ward.
this.
You're the one who wears the armor. You've got to take care of it. I don't know what to tell you.
Looks like some of these leather
Giving
straps
some,
are gonna have to be replaced. A couple of these clasps are going. Is this supposed to be brass? The fuck is this? It's corroded almost entirely away. I'll have to figure out what that was. Well, it seems like not too difficult of a task. Seems to be magical already, seeing as the runes on it. That will make this a bit more difficult of a job, but not too far outside the range of our normal work. How many days do you plan to be in town?
As long as it needs, I guess.
Well, that's good. We have a bit of a back order. I'll have one of the boys look at it. I'm going to estimate somewhere in the ballpark of, what, by the way, how much, did your armor cost? It was like 115? Something like that? The +1 armor rune's like, what, 100 gold, I think? Right?
I don't know.
What does your character sheet say?
How much was the armor worth?
Yes. The armor will probably just say like 10 gold. That's because of
Let me look.
for some reason weapons gain the gold value of the runes, but armor doesn't for some reason. In Foundry, they do.
I had breastplate, so
Yeah, but the +1
price
rune.
of the
What's
breast-
the?
price of the breastplate was 8 gold plus the +1 rune, which is I don't know how much that's worth.
I quickly check the price of a potency rune. I just need to know the price of the armor for the price of the repair. It's not going to cost like the whole value of the thing, obviously.
So the armor was 8 gold pieces.
So the price of the armor rune is 160 GP. So 160 plus 8, so roughly 170. So that'll be about 17 gold. If you want it back, By tomorrow, it's going to be a double that for the surcharge to push back a couple of our other orders. If not, this will get done in a couple of days.
I think we're fine to be here for a couple days.
All right.
It's on me.
Anything else you'll be needing?
I have a bit of a special order.
Aye.
I have a sword in my possession that I would like to possibly get reforged into a different style of sword.
Ah, a bit of a special task. Not a problem. Let me see what it is.
Pull the spark blade out, hand it over.
It's a fine piece you got there. Let me see. Cold iron. Good eye on ya. These runes depict... Seems to be primal runes of a, depicting a storm. I'm assuming this is some sort of, lightning weapon.
Yes.
Very good to find. It's a short sword. What are you fixing to have it made into?
I was hoping a rapier.
Seems like about the right amount of metal. Let me see. Same deal as the armor, except the price is going to be... Working with cold iron, having to reforge a piece this large. I would say... Probably... Well, since you're doing 2 orders at once, we can probably have the same smith work on them. So, this one will be an additional 14 on the same order.
Okay, sounds doable. I would
Anything
appreciate
else? Anyone else missing any kit?
Any leather armor?
Well, we don't really cure the leather ourselves, but we do actually make leather armor. We, have a partnership with a tannery across town. We could be fitting you up with some armor, young short lad. Now, notice, this individual is about half a foot taller than you. What
That sounds
kind?
good to me.
Specifically of the leather armor.
I don't know.
Will it be matching your coat then?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Is this going to be magical as well?
Hang on, did my armor have...
It didn't at the time, but you guys are getting...
Good.
You guys are getting the point where you might want to get
Yeah, I
a
would
plus 1 armor,
recommend
Yeah,
it.
but
might as well, right?
We have the
Yeah.
money for it.
Armor's
So,
for
yeah.
bitches.
Shut up.
Alright, I'll add that onto the tab. Standard fare. There's going to be a full price order, but I will add it to the same tab. We will, take the payment when you return. We are a high-end establishment. We expect our customers to return to make payment. If you don't, we'll find you.
Noted.
And about our previous conversation, I'll take a gold out of a pouch in my pocket and place it on the table, and slide it towards them a little bit. You had mentioned that there wasn't anybody currently available. Would you know of anybody who might soon be available to, at least speak with in regards to our needs for Otari?
Sure, make a persuasion check. A diplomacy, as it were.
1 sec.
Or intimidation, whichever one is. If you're wielding the coin as a weapon, then
slow murder with an inefficient weapon.
All right, let me check the number. 24. Is anyone going to aid on that, or just that the number we're gonna take?
I suppose I can roll an aid.
Sure. Give me a perform dance.
I shall.
That's an L1.
That's not great.
Good.
Oh,
So
Cool.
Is that worth a hero point?
No.
Probably not. So
I
a 20.
mean, I guess technically, where else are we gonna use them?
You never know.
You know, fuck it. We'll probably have another one by now, or it probably should have.
Dice just
Oh,
goes
great.
off the fucking
Heck
screen.
yeah.
Well, it's not a
I'm
crit
so
failure.
good right now.
It's not a crit failure. So the number stays the same, 24 instead of a 23. She's gonna eyeball the coin. She's gonna reach out. She's gonna push the coin back to you. Well, you might be doing me a service just as well as we be doing you one. There's a bit of an annoying dwarf that's been around, Brynjolf. He refuses to abide by the guild standards and won't get certified, and none of the shops around will take him. And he keeps coming by every couple of days, banging on our doors and disrupting business for several hours, looking for work. He's got a head on his shoulders, but he's a bit odd at the forge.
We can do odd. Does he do good work?
Let me see what her crafting. I'm gonna see what her crafting would say about that.
Like he's walking out to people and telling them they don't get their coin legally, so. That was a very specific joke.
Yeah, because you were saying the Skyrim.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I was well aware when I named him Brynjolf, and I'm like, someone's gonna
Bro, there's a
meme
thieves
about
guild
it.
here. Let's go.
I was eating a cinnamon roll at the moment, so I was muted and didn't say anything, but I thought the exact same thing.
You can't use fucking Norse names anywhere in these D&D lands. They're not safe. His work is functional. I wouldn't call it pretty. But he's good enough for the task.
Nevertheless, something is better than nothing. At any point, we can always attempt to procure a more competent if things do go awry.
Sure. If you're
Next
looking
time you
for
have
him,
tax to run him out of town.
if you're looking for him, she's going to hop over the counter and walk up to the door and push it open. She's gonna point down the street. If you're looking for him, there's a chance he's out trying to peddle his wares down at the market. If he found a space, if he got up early enough. So, good luck to you. If you're looking to get him to leave town. Anyway, you're gonna see a individual dressed, bedecked in armor with a seal on their armor is going to enter the establishment. And she'll be like, "Ah, good to see you back, young lad. What are you doing for today?" And then he's going to pretty much she's going to lose interest in you as someone of much more wealth is in shop.
Fair enough.
Yep. Our business is done.
Indeed. So, where head you now?
Up the
Well.
street to speak with the person.
Up Des Street.
Brynjolf.
Brynjolf. Sure.
The business that I have wanted to take part in is done. So about that whole leaving, yeah, see you guys. I'm a wander off towards the park, and then just continue kind of just wandering around town,
Sure.
the district.
So, I'll actually say at this point, if you guys are going to the market, right, where they had said he might be, there you would actually be within like eye shot of each other for most of that walk if you're going to go into the park, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go like through the park because like we're at my first destination. I'm gonna check out and then. Yeah.
While you're walking away, let's just make sure that we all meet up at the place that we stayed last night.
Sure
Sounds
thing.
Tonight.
good.
Non-specific place that we stayed.
I believe I said it was I believe it was the Gutless Griffin.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what you said.
Yeah. Just here, just let me see if I can grab this picture. Just an example. I'll put the Gutless Griffin's let me see if I can find it. Is it here somewhere? I will put on the screen over top of where it is on the map your where is it? Which district am I at in this folder? Hoobity doobity doo. By the way, is anyone having conversations while they walk through the beautiful park with from inside the perimeter of the park, Relawana, you actually see quite a few leshies.
Interesting.
Do you know what that means?
I do. I know it's a race of people. I just forget what they look like. Give me a
They are
sec.
plant people. They are of many different varieties.
Yeah, that's the okay. That was the one I was thinking of. All right. Yeah.
And you see a couple of like poets and musicians that seem to be working on their craft, practicing phrases or here, let me just pull this up here. That is going to shrink that down. This is the park for you,
Cool.
Swange.
Yeah.
And going to find there's a thing I'm looking for and I can't believe I can't there it is. Bistro. Not bistro. Going to place this as a little demarcation of where y'all were staying. Right around there. Let me shrink it a little bit more. I wonder how much you guys can actually zoom in to see what the plate of food looks like on that.
Pretty close. It's still a little hard to make out.
Here, I'll...
I see grapes and some green.
Yeah. Oh.
I didn't mean to rotate it. Oh god, the world is ending.
Is that like a kobold head?
It is a draconic
Are they feeding people fried kobold?
it is not a kobold, you know that.
It's a meal made to look like a dragon or something.
Something like that. And so we'll just put that where it
I'm
were.
not gonna lie. I might be curious what cobalt tastes.
Spider is like, I want to eat that shit
Oh,
though.
that sounds good.
Yo, kobold? Damn, man. Not gonna lie. Looking kind of tasty.
I mean, gator's pretty tasty.
Is that a
so,
little
you
bit
know.
fucked up with them being a sentient species?
I mean, is it? I don't know,
Yeah.
man. They're kobolds.
But, like, I mean, they're definitely on the lower side of sentient species, so it's okay.
Like,
Oh, God.
I like to imagine. Are Kite and Relawana both just walking off into the park?
Talking about eating kobold.
Does Kite and Relawana get into it enough to just get distracted and walk into the park while having this conversation?
Sure.
Sure.
Sure. You're gonna hear a voice. You're gonna hear a voice. A voice that sounds like rustling leaves almost. It's going to say, have you ever
Oh,
had
yeah. Oh, no.
alligator?
Alligator? No, I have not had the privilege to do so.
Oh, well, kobold is quite a similar taste. As you're going to turn and you're going to actually see a Leshy sitting on a log, with a couple of vials of liquid.
Right, isn't Leshy also just like the food people?
No, that's a different race.
Oh, okay, good. In my brain, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Aren't we just walking through a park talking about eating sentient people around the food people?
No, 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 no.
All right, that's better then.
Who are the food people?
Oh, there is a
Different-
race of people
it's
who
a
are literally
different
just
thing.
food.
Yeah, they were pretty much engineered to be food.
So fucked up.
It is very
It was
fucked up.
very fucked. That's why I had that oh no moment, being like, oh yeah, are we talking about this around the people that were designed to be food?
Well, it is nice meeting you. Don't know who you are, but let's get out of your way.
Be safe, traveler.
Be safe to you as well.
Yes, you too.
Don't let any elk or forest people eat on you.
Party meets character. Party's like, nope, fuck that guy.
I
He's-
mean, we were walking about and this random dude just like, oh hi, your conversation.
You
By the
walked
way, I'm
past
in it."
him.
So we can keep his nose out of our business. We're
Just, like,
just walk up
very
and be like, yo,
creepy.
you talking about that one thing? Yo, that's so cool. That's weird.
Ferg.
At least introduce yourself before starting to talk about eating sentient races.
Especially that conversation. That's like one of those things that you only talk about like behind closed doors.
Talking about it in the middle of a park.
We didn't know anybody was listening in on us.
You are in a public park.
People have ears.
Yeah.
What are ears?
War gears.
Exactly. And normal people would have been like, whoa, those people are weird. Let's not talk to them. But he decided to approach us. So,
He didn't approach
Who's
it.
the
He's sitting on
weirder
his
one?
log, man. He's just a Leshy that's
so
minding
we were
your
just
business.
walking by, which means talking to us is approaching us.
So judgmental towards this random plant person.
Yeah, fuck that plant person.
Correcting me on Twitter is assault. So
How
you
dare
make
butt into my public conversation.
so you the rest of the party that's staying on the road, you push your way through stalls. You can see it's actually quite bustling at this hour. You hadn't seen this collection of stands. They hadn't popped up yet by the time that you had made your way to the House of Healing, but you will find a wide selection of stands of spices of varying color. You can smell flavors that you've never smelt before. There's a pile of a spice at one of the stands that's purple, and you can see the proprietor of the stand has it under glass and has it pulled closer towards them, and you can see a couple of people eyeing it like as though they may not be thieves, but it's very tempting to grab. It seems as though if they could just reach out and take some, that could be quite a windfall. You can see that it almost incites greed in people to see something so valuable just sitting out. You can see many stands of jewelry of different kinds. There are poets like described before, but there are some standing on boxes, giving recitals of famous plays of Thessalonian and Varisian origin, with handfuls of people gathered around watching and throwing coins into cups for these entertainers. And you'll eventually come by different stands with elegant fabrics of many kinds, spools of gold, actual literal golden thread, set about. And eventually you'll come to an area with a collection of arms dealers, some alchemists. You're getting into a section where watch out about rubbing up against things because you might get some soot on you or some solvents from freshly tanned hides of varying different creatures. You can see the pelt of a winged drake actually completely flopped over an entire table's worth of leathers, as though the owner of the stand is trying to peddle it quite aggressively to get it off their hands. Merchants of many kinds. And you can hear in the distance off to your left, actually, down the street, leading to branching off of the main thoroughfare. You can see where it's more sparse with stands. You can see a argument breaking out between two individuals at a slightly less extravagant looking stand. But you can't make out what the argument is about from this distance.
I'm curious. I want to go eavesdrop.
You're in the park.
I branched off from the park and continued on with the party. I imagine I would want to continue on trying to figure out who this dude is so we can get him back to Atari.
Okay, what is everyone else doing? What is Dog and Warg and Human doing?
Good question. I don't know. What are we doing, fellow allies?
I mean, I'm down to go with Kite to find this Brynjolf guy. I'm kind of curious about that, but I don't know. Is there anything in particular that you want to do, Warg, or are you just also coming along for the ride?
Can Warg be one
Really
of those
regretting
statue
not
people?
going into the sewers.
Hey, you had an opportunity for fun and you decided not to do it. No takes backsies
'cause
once you came back to the party.
I
had-
thought it was gonna actually be dangerous.
I described you murdering a giant rat with a single punch. Without going into combat. A single punt.
True.
There. That was without you raging. That was just your standard unarmed 2d4 plus strength mod. Just kill it, because it has 6 HP. Man didn't even have to wadge. So, is it Kite and Dog? Raisami, is there anything you're doing in particular? Heaver die, rip.
God, he's dead.
Not really. I think mostly, we got, Kite's looking for Guy, so we can help that out. We're probably gonna be here for a few days, so I might be here to look for stuff as well, but that doesn't have to happen immediately either. So
Sure.
we'll just follow the leads we have at the moment.
So the party breaks a left down this street, and as you get closer, you can hear a whispery, almost a whisper shout, dwarven voice arguing with a aggressive sounding human man, and the human is like, "This is highway robbery. There's no way it's that much." And you're going to hear the other voice say, "Aye, it is that much, and you're gonna pay me if you're gonna take it. I don't care what your naive eyes say about it. It's 30 gold, take it, or leave it.
30 gold. I wonder what he's trying to sell.
It's just a trinket.
I didn't
There's
say
no,
anything.
not you, not
No,
you,
what-
not you. The going back to the argument between, it's just a trinket. It's not even made of gold or gemstones. 30 gold for something as basic as leather, bones, teeth, and it's so primal and pathetic. Just 'cause you don't know the value of it doesn't mean I'm giving it away for free. That's dragon blood, you see, that's with the markings on it. Where do you think I got that? This ain't cheap just 'cause you don't know its value.
Getting closer to the stand, can we tell what it is that they're trying to sell?
It's when you get close to the stand, you see a wide variety of things. Some traditionally worked metal pieces, a collection of at the top of the stand, you're going to see necklaces varying in their make from braided leather bands with that are wrapping some gemstones in a very rudimentary style, with some that are twine that are braided through bones and small bird skulls. Many of the things look to be they have this weird primitive appearance to them. You can see the heads, the skulls of creatures you don't recognize, the pelt, the shield. There's a shield that has the thick hide of something stretched across its face instead of a thin metal sheet like you would normally see braced on a shield. It's a wide collection of many different things but there's a degree of refinedness to it. Like, all the knots are very well crafted. All of the fabrics are trimmed without any frays. There's inscriptions of runes that seem to be very meticulously carved or painted on to them.
Kind of reminds me of Quats a little bit.
Quats?
Yeah, with all those skulls and like bones and things.
I
You
mean,
don't agree?
no, not entirely. Like, sure, he had primitive stuff about him, but he only had his necklace that was made of bones.
Fingy
really.
bones.
This guy has
He was
stuff
also-
with bones.
Let's not forget
He was
that
also a
Quats
skull
also
picker.
took a minute. Yeah, you also took a Minotaur skull.
Yeah,
You're
and
right, I
and a
did take
basilisk
Minotaur
skull.
like man's collected bones.
And the jaw of a
I mean, listen, I'm not judging. I literally have a model of a wolf skull sitting on my dresser next to my bed.
Nice.
So
and the jaw of a friggin' ghoul.
Mm-hmm. You're
Y'all
gonna
remember
see.
that.
You're gonna see the dwarf snatch the what looks to be a necklace, possibly, out of the individual's hand, and be like, "Now get away from my shop!" And the man is going to stomp away in a harumph about the exchange, and the dwarf is going to reach up on his tippy toes and hang the necklace. Well, he's actually going to pull up a short stool and then stand on his tippy toes on the stool and reach up and put the necklace up on a hook around the top of his stand. And go back behind. None of you guys were not approaching to intercede in the conversation, so he does not he does not direct his attention to you.
After the dude begins to leave, we'll walk up to the stand.
I don't believe Kite does any walking. Your mount
he
does
do
the
floating.
walking.
He do floating and riding. That's what he's best at.
Mm-hmm. Sure. How are you approaching?
Well, I don't know what all that is about, but all of your wares seem to be of high quality.
The finest in
That-
this damn town.
That person just seemed to have poor taste, in all honesty.
Aye, they do. But what do you know of my wares? Tell me.
We've heard a thing or two from a blacksmith down the road. You seem to be well equipped to deal with what we are asking of you.
And what might that be?
A town a little bit off to the west. Atari, do you know it?
You're gonna see he'll stop to think. He'll scratch at his beard. Hold on, let me do the thingy. No, I'm not doing a thingy about scratching the beard. I'm just gonna grab the just gonna grab his pictor really quick.
Roll for scratching beard.
Where is the where is the foundry beard scratching sound effect?
Give me a dexterity saving throw so you don't accidentally put your finger in your mouth or something. I don't know.
And
So
Interesting.
Brynjolf was a genuine NPC, not one that you just came up with on the spot. Cool.
got a fucking problem, man? Fucking jeez.
I don't got a problem. I was just
Okay,
like,
you say that like you don't make up NPCs on the spot? Fucking Benjamin.
Cock.
Goddammit.
By the way,
Yellow Benjamin,
the story about Benjamin Wings is that it was later revealed that he was related to a one John Hancock,
John
which made him
Hancock.
which made him Benjamin Cock.
Yeah, Benjamin.
Oh my god, Chanto. You got me fucking dead.
The NPCs of Generals of Almor are really something.
love that.
For real though.
I love that so much.
You can generally thank like all the players for NPC names being funny.
I mean, I guess, but you also just straight up named a guy Travis, which I thought was really funny.
Did I? Who's Travis?
I
One
don't
of
know
the
what
guys
Travis
in
is.
the-
I don't.
I remember this because it stood out to me because it's such a normal name. One of the guys in fuck the fucking book Labyrinth Place from where Carlisle was from was named Travis. It was like one of the twins, I think, that would argue over
Right.
One of them is called Travis.
I love that for him.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember, one of them was just like their adoptive mother was a friggin' a muscle grandma.
Muscle grandma?
Yep, that was also an NPC.
You see, Brad was the muscle wizard. He went to the school of Swolewarts and learned the art of protein powder.
Harry Spotter.
The woman from the town was a witch whose patron gave her the power of weight and how to lift it.
I mean, you're not technically far off because
She was very
her
clearly a witch slash hag slash like occult individual. So I'm just like,
No, she was just a gardener lady because she was old.
Mm-hmm,
She at
that's
one
what they
point
all
was,
say.
like,
That's her cover.
She was an adventurer in her youth, and the person who gave her her strength was the dragon mom.
A dragon mom that you murdered.
All right, enough with your your furry roleplay fantasies, my guy. We all know what you're into in VR chat. Dragon mothers.
I mean, oh my goodness.
Dog,
I've
make me a
heard
medicine
so many
check.
good things from that campaign.
What?
Make me a medicine check.
A medicine? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Benjamin Cox 100% gonna be a future character of mine.
Oh,
I want to play this guy.
Please
I
don't
just
talk
want
about
like
me.
just like an artificer who's like a traveling merchant.
Oh, Jesus.
I want to play it so bad.
There it is.
Mr. Cock.
All right, give me a second here. I'm just
Please, Mr. Cock was my father. Call me Benjamin.
That killed me.
look how big he
I
is.
mean, then there was also the story of just an NPC that I decided to name Melf.
Oh, yeah, that
Melf
was a whole...
Senior and Melf Junior.
MILFs, massive milkers.
No.
I just love that fucking.
That's so good.
That's what that spell should have been called.
I mean, I'm still of the opinion that Mike's Hard Lemonade is a spell.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
You just like gather a bunch of like fruit juice and then it turns into ice and you fire it like a machine gun at someone.
So Mike's Hard Lemonade is an illusion spell where you can disguise the taste of any drink beyond that of like changing flavors with prestidigitation to the point where you can magically disguise like poisons and such.
Yo,
Oh my god.
I actually love that.
But it always must taste like hard lemonade. It's a spell so powerful that it can replicate the taste of one specific drink so aggressively that it masks all other tastes. All right. Well, Dog, what did you get for your Metacine?
Was it 26?
26. For his apparent age, his voice is very rough sounding. There could be many reasons for that. Some disease as a child, cold damaging his lungs, just a dry environment, several different factors. Smoking a shit ton, black lung. So, tell me, what do you see when you look at what do you see when you look at my wares? Directed at Kite, the one that is engaging in this conversation.
I see fine quality handmade crafts. Somebody skilled in his work that just so happens to not have a great deal in life. I think, given the correct course of action, the correct... what's the fucking word? The correct opportunity, one such as yourself could easily become a master craftsman.
Oh, lad, I'm already a master of my craft.
I
They
can
just
see
don't
that.
see it.
They may not see it, but I can see it just well. Now, because your craft is so great, I am making an offer for you. Now, this offer stands until we leave here within the next couple of days. Would you like to hear it?
Aye?
The town to the west, Otari, needs a blacksmith. The previous one there has left to personal reasons, leaving the town without one. Now there's a great deal of coin to be made. Being the sole blacksmith for an entire town, I'm sure you are well aware.
Sure, Kite, make me a society check.
Sure. Not great.
$11. Good. So Kite, you believe that. Dog, make me a society check.
Okay.
So, Doug, you would know that sounds a little incorrect, but you don't know enough about the margins on simple metalworking in a port town. You don't know enough
I
about the
mean-
economics to know if you could correct Kite.
Making nails, making fishing hooks,
Am I incorrect on the
saw
amount of money he'd be able to make?
blades,
Being the sole
axe
one would
heads.
have a decent amount of income, wouldn't it?
They're also right near Absalom.
very small.
You have to remember, there's also a delivery service in town. If his prices were too high and non-competitive, they would probably import
Gotcha.
from the big Siggy. I mean, there is coin to be made as a blacksmith, but it's not an overwhelming amount of coin. The real thing to sell someone on this for would be the fact that it's a town that sees a lot of adventurers passing through.
Mhm.
But you don't know that.
I mean, are there a lot of adventurers that travel to Otari?
If you had investigated even a little bit, you would have known that the town actually does see a lot of adventures. I'm pretty sure I've said this before at some juncture within the last several months of playing this game.
Some amount.
Well, I am not a very intelligent person. You should know this by now.
This is fair.
We've slept since then.
Well, doing work as a blacksmith is an easy job. Doing work as a craftsman, now that's actual work. Now, how much work do you think I'd be finding making things of real value? God, I keep reverting to the gravelly voice when it's not gravelly. He's a fucking wispy bitch in his voice. Hey, good work. That's what it needs to sound like. I'm not a voice actor. Don't look at me like that.
If we're
I'm
talk-
not either, but man, I understand.
I can't look at you in any way. I don't know what you're talking about.
If we're
Good.
talking things of value, I don't know about anybody
I
else
can
there. No,
smell you.
but for us personally, we will probably be there for a great deal longer. Just here recently, we've purchased armor for close to over 100 gold. So there is there is money to be made, just by us alone. I'm sure there would be quite a few others who would make you money as well.
Well, seems fair enough. I have some things to attend to first before I can leave. I need to head by the Gallery of Innovation. I need to tell them I'll be leaving and I won't need their services anymore.
That is perfectly fine. If you would like an escort, we will be leaving here within the next couple of days. Otherwise, if you need longer than that, you can catch up with us at a later point.
Sure. He's going to start packing up his stuff and you're gonna hear him say, well, I guess this is just how my life goes every time. Back to traveling work. I wonder if this lot will survive. Oh well.
Oh man.
Wow. Ye of little faith, but you're probably right.
How dare you say something so true?
You
Uh,
travel
is-
around a lot?
Aye, for a time I did travel quite a bit. Did a number on my voice up in the north. Ugh.
What, were you some kind of singer?
No! Have you ever lived near the crown of the world?
Can't say I have.
It'll freeze the water straight out of your lungs. You'll be coughing up ice.
Oh no, can't have none of that. I'm not quite good with the cold.
I'd be expecting you turn into a popsicle. I
What
could
looks
keep
like
you I could keep you in a water cozy.
It freezes up my wings, makes it hard to move around.
You're gonna see he's going to kick a side of his stand, and it's going to and collapse down into a significantly smaller size, almost as though it's like spring loaded to collapse down. And he's going to then, you're gonna see a latch is gonna fold it over even smaller to make it into what looks like just a large wooden piece of luggage. He's just gonna pick it up, put it on his back, and compared to his size, it's like putting Warg on his back, and he's going to start walking in a direction.
Before you leave, I do have one final question for you.
He's gonna turn around. He's gonna knock something off someone else's stand.
You wouldn't happen to know of any place to procure knowledge about a unique construct, would you?
Someone distracted me. I'm sorry. Ah. Someone asked me a question. Sorry. I feel like you and me should walk and talk, lad. He's going to turn around and continue walking.
I'll follow.
Sure. What does everyone else do? Relawana, what are you doing?
I've just wandered around the city. I don't know.
Cool.
I don't have anywhere specific.
I'm just gonna like float on top of the thing that he's carrying on his back, like just sitting on the very top of it.
Sure. All right. So who's going with Kite?
I can go Kite. Just make sure he's all right. Everyone else can go do their own thing. I'll just keep it.
Sure.
It'll make sure he doesn't get into any trouble on his own.
Sounds good. Is anyone else just going to keep looking around the Ivy district for anything interesting?
I might wander around a bit now.
Sure. A couple minutes later, everyone that's still in the Ivy district, because all of you are still roughly around where the market and the park is. I'm assuming, Relawana, you've had a bit of a conversation with like 3 different people. You went over and you badgered a painter who is painting a quick sketch of a swan next to some bushes, and then you'll see them snap their fingers and the swan will unfreeze as they had cast a spell to freeze the and you'll be like, yo, how'd you do that? And like you'll bug them for a little bit, and then once they get tired of you and be like, well, I'm gonna go back to my studio and finish this, and they're going, and you'll wander off to a poet, and they'll be creating a basic bitch limerick to Shaylin, and you'd be like giving unwanted advice. Be like, nah man, you gotta rhyme that with like chillin' and other Zoomer speech. And then also just like a musician playing a trumpet, you pull out your stringed instrument and just start jamming, but you're on a completely different, like, you veer off into like freeform jazz, and they're like reading sheet music, and they're like, what? And you think it's fire, and they're just like, oh, I have a recital in about 20 minutes. You're very good. Have a good day. and they fuck up. The young child styling on all of the tryhards in the park.
A fantasy Zoomer is so funny to me for no reason.
And that's what's happening while everyone was having a conversation with the blacksmith. You're then going to hear some, here, let me see if I can find where is a Sanj that will work. I might